Michelle, Thursday night's game one was a night the Raptors and their fans will never forget. The first finals game in franchise history had an electric atmosphere and an inspired performance from the home team, led by the dynamic play of Pascal Siakam, the Cameroon native who was the latest to shine on the NBA's biggest stage.
Good evening, basketball fans, wherever you may be.
Herzlich willkommen zu den
NBA 总决赛。
It all comes down to this.
We fight! Let's go!
I can't even hear right now. The crowd is going wild.
For the 1989 Bad Boys.
Larry Bird follows his own shots. The green shake.
This guy is off the charts. You are watching what greatness is all about. A spectacular move by Short. 2 seconds. 1 second. West throws it up. Allen from downtown.
And how sweet it must be for those Bay Area fans.
Back to Horry. He shoots for three. Oh my goodness.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala.
Oh man! Oh, blocked by James.
This is for you.
It's gonna be all over. Get the champagne ready, baby. Back to back. Anything possible.
Well, it's hard to imagine the excitement level in Canada could climb any higher. Jurassic Parks popping up throughout the country as Raptor fever has soared and swept the nation. The mania of We Are the North continues tonight in Toronto. And good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand, Doris Burke with us as well. Welcome to Game 2 of the NBA Finals. The Raptors landed the first punch in Game 1. They've now won 5 consecutive games in these 2019 playoffs, and that means for the Warriors, for the first time in the postseason, they trail a series. With this team, Mark, they've seen it all. There's no panic there. However, they're still without Kevin Durant, and they admitted they were surprised and impressed with the speed of the Raptors. So the question is, what kind of changes do you expect from the defending champs?
Well, talking to Steve Kerr just a little while ago, the thing he emphasized was they were disappointed in their defensive intensity. Their attention to detail was poor. Their transition defense was bad. They've got to be much better. This is not the championship defense that we become accustomed to watching the Warriors play. Look at the airspace that these shooters have all night long to knock down shots, to take and make shots. It's easy offense, and the Warriors defense participated in their own demise. They've got to be better individually and collectively.
And with Durant still out, their half-court options are limited. So they're going to have their defense ignite their transition offense. They're going to have to force more turnovers. They're going to have to get out and get stops and then push with a very fast pace so they can open up some space for Curry and Thompson.
As for the Raptors, they were clearly not rattled by the big moment. Again, this is a team that has so much belief in themselves, and our Domino's pregame HQ shows as they walked off the floor, they are confident they can win this series.
Because they think they can dominate this team with their half-court defense. They're so big and so long and so aggressive that they feel they can impact Curry and Thompson and give them no driving gaps. And then the high hands to get the deflections and forced turnovers. They had 17 forced turnovers, and you see how Gasol, instead of dropping back and allowing Curry to get rhythm, he's up on the screener, impacting the ball handler and forcing turnovers. Their defense was outstanding.
You're right about that, but the best moment of the year for me is that a better story than Pascal Siakam. On the biggest stage with the brightest lights, he had his best moment. Did not disappoint. Took it personal the matchup of Draymond Green, an elite all-time defender, was in attack mode with his foot on the gas pedal, scoring in the half court, and also getting it going in transition. And didn't stop there. Had stellar, elite defense, blocking shots, changing shots, and making plays. Got it done. Was effective, efficient, and impactful all night long. It must continue, Mike.
An amazing performance from Siakam and his Raptor teammates. And one good sign for Toronto, they win the game despite their star player having what for him is basically a subpar game. As we get set now for game 2. The roar of the Raptor faithful was deafening in game 1, leaving the Warriors to ponder their counterattack for game 2. The two-time defending champs have responded time and time again. Can they tonight? As this presentation of the NBA Finals continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
The 2019 NBA Finals on ABC is presented by YouTube TV. Watch the NBA Finals in over 70 channels of your favorite live shows, news, and sports. YouTube TV. Try it now. And in part by Toyota. Let's go places.
Golden State Warriors once again facing off against the Toronto Raptors as we welcome you to the NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. A gorgeous night in this beautiful city of Toronto where Raptors fever is everywhere. And of course, the heart and center of it is at Jurassic Park outside the Scotiabank Arena. Let's listen to Raptors head coach Nick Nurse.
Be great at guarding the ball when your man doesn't have it. But when he does, get up and guard him. Get ready to run early. Okay, they're going to try to throw you their best punch early. Get ready to run early and get your defense set up. All the other stuff takes care of itself. Everybody that steps in there comes in there with a physical, fast plan mentality tonight.
Nurse's team so impressive in game 1 as we look at the starting lineups delivered by Taco Bell. And for Golden State, another change in the starting lineup. 9th different starting lineup in this playoffs is DeMarcus Cousins, who returned briefly in game 1. He's going to be back in the starting lineup for game 2. As for the Raptors, despite the All-Stars Leonard and Lowry not shooting the ball in game 1, Danny Green, Pascal Siakam, and Marc Gasol all played well in that game 1 victory. So Cousins is back. Missed over a month after tearing his quad in the second game of the playoffs way back on April 15th. Getting a chance to start once again. And this is his first ever playoff run. And Mark Jackson, thoughts on Cousins coming back into the starting lineup?
Well, he's clearly their most talented big man. The question will not be offensively. He makes them better offensively. The challenges will be defensively, especially in pick and roll situations.
I like the move. They need punch on the floor.
Still without Kevin Durant. There's still hope that Durant will play in this series at some point, perhaps when they go back to Oakland.